Hi, this is Dominic from Paphos Life, and in today's film we're having a little drive around Geroskipou before heading to SODAP Beach area. So first of all, let's have the map, and we're starting off by the post office and we're heading down to the Neon Mall, and then we're taking the Geroskipou bypass and driving back through Geroskipou to the Agios Georgios Shrine Caves. From there we're taking some fairly uncommon route to a roundabout on the main road and then heading to SODAP Beach. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what the name of that roundabout is. Anyway, we're turning left here towards the hospital. If I'd gone straight down, I'd be at the post office fountain roundabout, which we showed you in a recent film. Now, this route here is quite handy if you want to avoid the dual carriageway and you're heading down to Keo Factory, as long as it's not rush hour or school opening and closing times, because there's a nasty junction at the end here and it's possible to get stuck there for quite a while if there's a lot of traffic on the road that you're joining. And in this case that was the case. I think there's about 8 cars in front of me. However, it does provide a handy place for me to do my marketing, so I'll get that over and done with right at the start. If you like our films, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and share the films far and wide. The more people who see it, the more revenue we'll get from YouTube, and you can also help us out financially if you go to our buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Live page. A link should be appearing anytime now. There we go. Yeah, send us a few copies. Everything helps. It all goes to provide new content or just food on our plates, basically. So help us out, please. And also, if you want something in return, go to our etsy.com/shop/Paphos Live page, and there you can buy lots of memorabilia about Paphos, from calendars, pictures, phone covers, even a t-shirt. Basically lots of stuff using photographs that we previously published on Facebook. And talking about Facebook, if you're on Facebook, follow our Facebook page, Paphos Life. We've got over 70,000 followers now, so come and join the fun. And also our Paphos Chat Facebook group, and if you want conversation around the whole of Cyprus, go on to the Cyprus Chat Facebook group. Right, that's all that out of the way, nice and early on. Right, so now we're going on the motorway roundabout and we're going straight across here. I was actually in the wrong lane there, I should have been in the next lane. According to the arrows, I do apologise before anyone hauls me over the coals for that. But in my defence, I had looked and there was no one coming in the other way anyway. I have to say things like that because occasionally people leave comments saying, "Ooh, you were going a bit fast there," or "Ooh," well, something to do with my driving, whatever, and they honestly think I care, which is the puzzling thing. It's like, don't bother. Is all I can say. I'm not interested in your opinion of my driving. Anyway, let's carry on. I do like the double yellow lines here because it's one of the few places I've actually come across where I've never seen anyone parking here. I mean, there are other places where they'll have double yellow lines and it gets completely ignored. But fortunately, no one ignores them here. Anyway, there's a new burger bar on the left there. I haven't tried it out. I don't know if it's even open yet, but I think it is. But here we have everybody's favourite Neon Mall with its new little. It hasn't caused the traffic chaos that I was expecting it to, actually, the addition of the new little. I think it's because it's only useful if you're on this side of Paphos. If you're on the other side, you'll still use the one at either Masoi Road or Tomb of the Kings. But I do also believe that they may well be building another exit from the car park. It'll bring you directly onto the dual carriageway. Don't quote me on that though yet. I have to do a bit more investigation first. Anyway, up here, it's not a Keo brewery. It's a Keo warehouse, i.e. they don't make any beer there, they just store it. So that's where loads of Keo is, if you like them. And we're going down here, and this will bring us eventually into Geroskipou. Got to keep remembering to say that itself. On the right at the moment, though, there is an industrial park. It's worth a drive around just to see it, because there are, I don't know how many garages in there, but it's just a little maze of repair centres for various makes of cars. It's fascinating driving around. My dad would spend weeks there if he could. Now on the left here, there's a huge, great housing complex that was half built, and it's been half built since we moved here. I don't know if anything's ever going to come of it or what the story is behind it, but someone has sunk an awful lot of money into that at some point, and it's just standing there. Hopefully one day it'll get finished. Because let's face it, housing is not an issue that gets easier to deal with as you get older. Now we're coming up to the main park in Geroskipou, and there's a nice sculpture park here. I mean, it's nowhere near like what you'd get at Ayia Napa, so don't get too excited, because the one in Ayia Napa is fantastic. I've done numerous films on that, and they never seem that popular, my sculpture park films. I'm always quite saddened by that, because I think the place is amazing, and there's so much more to going on holiday than sitting on a beach. If you get out and have a look around, there's lots of things waiting to surprise you. And while Ayia Napa hasn't got all the countryside benefits that you get in Paphos, it does have a very nice sculpture park. So if you're in there, go and see it. But not during the middle of the day though, because otherwise you'll melt. Anyway, so this is the Geroskipou park, and I had the 360 camera on the roof, so I'm showing you a bit more of what it looks like just for a little while. And if you've been to the Ayia Napa park, you'll be looking at that and laughing because it's so small in comparison. Yes, it is. However, it's the closest we've got in Paphos to the Ayia Napa sculpture park. So there you have it. Now we're staying in 360 mode because the square in Geroskipou is also very nice, and I wanted to give you a bit more of a look of that. So we'll have the benefit of the 360 camera for a short while longer. I'm going to go for a wander around there some point soon because it is beautiful. And now, in a rare seamless link, we will be returning shortly to the 4K full frontal view. One last pan. They don't normally join this well, but I think this time it was exceptional. Look at that. Boof! There's another 360 split coming up later on, and the join wasn't so good then. But in that one, I was particularly pleased with it. Anyway, there's a bakery on the left. There are quite a few of these, and they can be quite challenging to drive past at various times of the day because of the novel approach to parking that will happen around them, he said diplomatically. There's a couple of sets of traffic lights up here, and I was rather unfortunate because they're right next to each other, and I got stopped by both of them. Had I been in that white car, I think I could have been able to get through them both. Apparently, and I've been told this by a friend of mine who was here at the time, this used to be the main shopping area for Paphos on the left here. There used to be loads of nice clothes shops. I mean, I think the shops still are there. It's just an awful lot more quieter now, since they built the various malls, etc. Well, there's the first traffic light, and the rule of sod dictated that the next one was red as well. Here's Savas Auto Cars on the right there. We bought a couple of cars off him, and we were very happy with both of them. So if you're in the market, that's a good place to go to. At least go and see what he's got on offer. And now we're going down towards Agios Georgios Shrine Caves. I've done a number of features on this in the past because it was a very nice spot. You can't get access to it at the moment though, because they're renovating the area. I think it's becoming another vertical park. Well, there's going to be a vertical park in front of the caves anyway. So when it's finished, it'll be really nice and the caves will be presented in a nicer fashion. But at the moment, it's I won't say it's a bit of a building site now, because I think they're in the latter stages of it. I know they've got a kids' playground assembled there now. You'll see in a minute anyway. But when it's finished, it's a lovely little walk that'll take you past a series of caves in the cliffs, which have become shrines. And I've written numerous, and the history of the area is very interesting and colourful as to what sort of festivals went on here in the dim and distant past, all linked with the cult of Aphrodite and stuff like that. Now you couldn't see many of the caves there, but fear not, because we're going to be driving along the road that runs parallel to them in a minute, and that's where the 360 camera will come out again. There's a little cat sanctuary there on the right we just passed as well. What I mean by cat sanctuary is that there's a bunch of trees and people have put in lots of cat houses and that they get fed there and stuff. Presumably they get spayed as well. TNR and all that. Right, this is interesting because they got those ominous yellow speed warnings there. Hopefully it doesn't mean they're going to be putting up speed cameras there as well. But also on the right down there is one of those traffic crossings which does have the cameras, so be careful of that. We're going left here though. Not to avoid them, it's just that I wanted to give you another view of the shrine caves thanks to the power of the 360 camera. See, the ridge all along there has caves in it. Excuse the tractor going past. That's what happens when you live in a farming area. I was talking about the sound effects, just in case they don't come out. But you can see all the caves there. And it's a nice, well, when you can actually access it again, it's a nice walk all the way along there. And there's lots of little intriguing mysteries. And that'll bring us back to the road. See, not quite such a seamless join there. Now, if you go left at the end of this road, you'll end up back in the heart of Geroskipou. But we're going to go right. Because, as I said in my previous film, I'm off to fly my drone. Talking about drone flying, there has been a lot in the press and on social media about GPS jamming. And I know towards the east of Ireland and even in Limassol, that's a big issue because we noticed that our car GPS went up the duff in Limassol. And so when that happened, it's obviously not a good place to fly your drone. But in Paphos itself and anywhere west of Paphos, personally, I haven't been affected, and I'm not saying that you won't be affected because you might have a less powerful drone or something like that. But I don't personally have any experience of GPS jamming in Paphos. Okay. Now, if you do come here on your holiday and you do bring your drone, do bear in mind that you will need a license, and you may well get asked about it, etc. So don't just think you can fly anywhere. And if you do fly, also respect people's privacy. Don't hover over someone's bedroom window and have a little peek. I say that because I know that some people had been doing that at the seafront. I didn't see them doing it, but I heard that the police were looking for the people who had been doing it. So. Now we're coming back onto the main road now. Did you notice back there was a guy on a scooter? One of those little rentable ones, and there was actually about 3 scooters in the middle of nowhere, as if there was a stop point for them. That puzzled me. Unless there's something that happens out here that I'm not aware of. But yes, there are plans for this entire area to be developed into business parks and what have you. So I'm not sure what the future is going to be or how firm the plans are, but there are hoardings talking about Minneapolis, and it's all around here. So who knows what the place will be like in 20 years' time? I mean, who knows? Also, that derelict half-built housing estate we saw at the start, towards the start of this film, might get reused if it ever does come a business park here. So I'm sure the land prices would skyrocket. Right, so now we're back on the main road, and we're heading down towards the triangle, after which we'll be turning right to get to SODAP Beach. See, it's a lot clearer the weather is down on the coast. If you remember back at the start of the film I did how grey it was at the top, this is just like 20 minutes later. And it is still grey, or was still grey, into Sardar when I filmed this. This is just the difference a few miles make. So here's the triangle. There's the Olympic Lagoon Resort right in front of us, and we're turning right. Keep an eye out for cars coming from your left here. You got the Amphora Resort on the left, and you got the big tower on the right. And they planted a load of trees on the left here. I mentioned that because people are always saying, "Oh, they don't plant any trees," but they have. You just got to look. And here we are coming up to the Amavi Hotel and the SODAP Beach car park, where we will be parking and finishing. So all it remains to say is thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the drone footage that I will no doubt record while I'm here, and we will see you in the next film. There's the trees I was talking just in front on that green bit over there. Anyway, take care.